This is intermediate consumption. This is value addition, right? Now farmer has produced a wheat worth this much, right? And we have assumed here intermediate consumption as 0. So value addition is how much by the farmer is 1000 only. Then we went to baker, right? Now baker, what he has done is he has purchased this wheat from farmer and converted into bread and sold it to whom? To the grocer at this price. So baker's intermediate consumption will be how much? That is 1000. Value addition is 1000, right? And grocer intermediate consumption is this much. And what the grocer has done, right? He has put his services and made it into a final goods and sold it to the consumer by charging this much price, right? This much we have seen. So what will be the value addition here? It is just 200, right? So the sum up of, or we can say gross value addition of these producing enterprises is how much? 2200, right? Okay, so till up to here already description is done, right? Now I want to show here double counting. What is this double counting here? So we will take up only one example here. So see here, what is this? Wheat, right? Value of this output is 1000. Now let us see how many times the value of this wheat has been counted here. So this is the first time, right? And this value of wheat is also included in this one. Second time, again, the value of this wheat is also counted here, right? So 1, 2, 3. How many times? Thrice. The value of wheat has been counted. Now, if we take the sum of all the values of wheat, then what will happen? It will lead to overestimation of national income. Okay, so now what we have to do here? We have to avoid double counting problem. This is a problem, okay? So we have to avoid this double counting problem. Now to avoid this double counting problem, we have two methods here. One method is final output method, and the second one is value addition method. Value addition method. Okay. Now see, in this method, final output method, what we have to do here, we have to take into consideration the value of final goods or services. Only this we have to take up. Value of final goods and or services in order to avoid double counting problem. So now from this table, we have to find out final goods here. So final goods, what is the meaning of final goods? Final goods are finished goods. These are finished goods which are sold to the consumer. Right? So now see here, this bread, right? Which is sold by the grocer to consumer is final goods here, right? Now what we have to do here, we have to take the value of this final goods. I have taken here only the example of goods. Is that clear? Okay, so we have to take only the value of final goods, that is this 2200 we have to take in order to avoid the problem of double counting. Okay, so in this method. Next one is value addition method. Now this one concept already I have discussed in detail, right, with illustration. So what is this value addition? Value addition is the difference between value of output minus intermediate consumption. Is that clear? Now in order to avoid this double counting problem, so see here, we have to take up this. We have to consider this value addition. So this is nothing but it becomes same to this one, right? Okay. So the first precaution says that when we are estimating national income using value added method, we have to avoid this problem, double counting problem, right? Now I have given you only one illustration taking one goods, right? Later in your numerical problems you will get so many cases of double counting problem. Is that clear? Okay, and you have to be very careful in solving such problems. Is that clear? Okay. So this is your first precautions. Now second one is the value of sale and purchase of second-hand goods. Okay, see here, value of sale and purchase of second-hand goods are not taken into account while estimating national income using value added method. Okay, this one is not included in this method. Now, why this one is not included here? Because the value of such goods are already accounted in the year in which they were produced. If we take up again the value of such things, then what will happen? It will lead to again double counting problem. So because of this reason, the value of sale or purchase of such goods are not taken into consideration in this method. Okay. Third one is regarding services. If we are rendering any services, and for that, if we are getting income, if we are earning income from it, then it will be included in this value added method. Say for example, with related to this one, okay, commission which is earned from selling or purchase of such goods are included in this value added method. Why? Because this commission we are getting for what? For rendering services. We're doing a job. Job is what? Say for example, selling second-hand goods. if I'm selling this second-hand goods for the services which I'm rendering here, that is selling, right? And I'm getting an income for this services, then this will be included in this value added method. Is that clear? Okay, so commission which is earned from selling second-hand goods are included in this value added method because commission is paid for rendering services. Okay? Fourth precautions. Fourth and fifth I will take up together. Fourth says on account of production by home producing units. By producing units. And fifth one is self-consumption production. It looks similar here. What does it say? Now see here, on account of production by the producing units. So we will take up producing units here, a producer. Producer is producing something. On account means for himself. Is that clear? Okay, production for his use. That is called as on account. And then next one is self-consumption production. Production is done for what? Self-consumption. Okay. Both of these things, too, are included in this value added method. Why? Because in both cases, production is taking place. Right? Production is taking place. If production is taking place, then it has market value. Even if it is not sold in the market. Even if it is used by the producer for what? For his use. For his self-consumption. Okay? Sixth one, we have value of intermediate goods are not into this value added method. Value of intermediate goods are not taken into consideration in this value added method. Why? Because the value of such things are already reflected in the value of final goods. Okay, so again, if we are adding this, then it will lead to double counting problem. Right? Then comes seventh one. Self-consumption services. Self-consumption services. Some services are self-consumed services. Okay, I'll give you one example later here. This one is also not taken into consideration while estimating national income using value added method. One example. Say for example, I'm teaching my own son. Okay. Teaching at home. teaching at school. Do you find any difference between these two? Example of self-consumption services is the first one. See the second one, what it says. I'm teaching where? In school. I'm paid here, right? I have the market value. Teaching is a service which I'm rendering, and for that I get paid. So I said before, in this one, by rendering services, if we are earning something, right, then it will be included, I said. Now how about this one, teaching in home? Say for example, teaching for my son. Teaching to my son. Right? Now such services, I'm giving here my services, right? Such services, it is very difficult to estimate value, or we can say fix a value for it. Right? So see here, I said self-consumption services like this are not taken into consideration in this method because it is very difficult to estimate their market value. Another example in this, housewives providing services at home. No, there is no market value for it, right? So such services are meant for self-consumption purpose. And these services has no market value. So it is not included in this value added method. Okay? And the eighth one is imputed value of owner occupied houses. This one is taken into consideration in this method. It is given here what? House. This house has a value. From house we get rent. Rental value. Is that clear? Okay. So whether this house is owned by the owner himself or it is rented to somebody else. Whether it is occupied by the owner, it has a rental value. Whether it is rented to somebody else, we get rent from it, right? Okay, it has a market value. So this is also considered in this value added method. Right. So like this, these are few precautions that has to be taken while estimating national income using this method. Is that clear? Okay. Now, what I will do here is, let me recapitulate the formula for value added method, and then as an example I will show you how to solve the problems which is given in value added method. Right? Is that clear? Okay. So, value added method or gross value added at MP or GDP at MP. Remember, in theoretical information, I have said gross value added by whom? All the producing enterprises. Producing enterprises, we have classified them into 3 categories: primary, secondary, and tertiary sector. Right? Okay. So this will be equal to this one I said. GDP at market price. So what is this? This is the value of final goods and services. Right? Okay. Now value added method formula is value of output minus IC, intermediate consumption. Now intermediate consumption can be also called as purchase, I said. Right? In numerical illustrations, you will be getting this word again and again instead of intermediate consumption. Okay. Now, what is this value of output? We have seen value of output is sales plus change in stock minus intermediate consumption. Change in stock is the difference between closing stock minus opening stock. And sale, we have quantity into price. Right? Okay? Okay. This is one. Second one is, we said gross value added at MP is what? Gross value added by all the sectors, right? That is 3 sectors. We have to sum up primary sector, secondary sector, tertiary sector. This one is equal to, this is equal to GDP at market price. This one we have seen in the table, which I have given you before when I was dealing with value addition concept, right? So I've shown this one. So GDP at market price. Now if we want to convert it into NNP at market, NNP at factor cost. So it's very easy, right? You have to go for conversion here. So GN gross net minus CFC. DN plus NFIA. And market price factor cost conversion minus NIT. We will get NNP at factor cost. NNP at factor cost is nothing but it is the national income. Right? Is that clear? Okay. When you are solving numerical illustrations, say for example, if the questions comes like this, calculate national income using the following data given. So what you have to do, you have to convert this into this one. You have to use this one for your calculation purpose. Is that clear? So you need to remember this. National income is NNP at factor cost. Right. Okay. So these two is just a recapitulation of what we have studied, and it is a formula which we have to use in solving numerical illustrations. Now I will show you few illustrations. Question number 1, see here. Calculate intermediate consumption. Okay. Items value of output is given, net value added at factor cost, sales tax, subsidy, depreciation is given. Is that clear? Okay. Now when you are doing calculation, you have to observe each data which is given in the problems. Okay. Now let us go into the calculation of it. Now see here. What we have to do, write down the formula first. First one is, we will say gross value added at market price, okay, is equal to value of output minus intermediate consumption, right? So why I have written here gross value added at market price? Because in this problem, see here what is given, net value added at factor cost. It is given, right? We can even make use of GDP at market price, right? Okay, so I'm using this one here, right? Okay, now see here is equal to value of output is given here, how much? 220. We have to find out IC, intermediate consumption. This is also not given, but we will get this one by using the information which is given here. So we will go for this calculation first. So GVA at market price, what we have to do, we have to use this information, right? Net value added at factor cost. Net value added at factor cost, and we have to convert this entire thing into this one. So here it is given net gross. So we have to convert net into gross. Remember, net into gross. Net and gross. Conversion. What is required here? CFC, right? So net add CFC to get gross, and from gross deduct CFC to get net, right? Okay, now net into gross. So net into gross we have to do plus CFC, right? So NVA at factor cost is given how much? 100, right? So this is here 100 plus CFC is how much? CFC, yes, depreciation. Remember, I said CFC is consumption of fixed capital, which can be also called as depreciation here. So CFC is given how much? 20. Still, the conversion is not over. This is factor cost into market price. Now remember, factor cost into market price. I will do conversion here. Okay. So market price into factor cost. What we have to use here? NIT. That is net indirect taxes. And it has two components. Indirect taxes as well as subsidy. Right? So MP into FC. What we have to do? Minus NIT. And FC we have to do plus NIT. This is in third chapter, right? Conversion concepts we have learned in third chapter, NIT. So see here, we are applying the conversion concepts into the next chapter, that is fourth chapter, right? In this problem. Now what we have to do here, FC into MP, right? So FC into MP is plus NIT. Net indirect taxes. Right. Now, if NIT is plus, what we have to do here? Plus IT minus subsidy, I said. Right? Now, IT is what? Indirect tax. Is it given here, indirect tax? Yes, it is given. What is given here? Sales tax. This is an example of indirect tax, right? So I will write here sales tax is how much? 15. 15 minus, subsidy is given. Subsidy is given 5 here. Right. Now done. So conversion is over, right? This one I have used it and then I have converted it into this one by using the conversion concepts. Okay, so now here 120 plus 10 will be 130. Now it is very simple here. Right. So we have here 130. Then what we have to do now, now it's very easy to calculate intermediate consumption, right? So intermediate consumption will be value of output minus GVA at market price. So value of output is given 220 minus GVA at market price is 130, which is 90. So intermediate consumption is 90 here. Right. Okay. One thing. So this is how you have to go for it. Now second part. I'll rub this. So in second questions, what is given? What we have to find out? We have to find out net value added at market price, right? So we'll go straight. Gross value added at market price. And the formula value of output minus intermediate consumption here. So value of output is sales plus change in stock minus intermediate consumption. Is that clear? Now we will just have a look into the data which is provided in this problem. See here, sales is given, depreciation is given, NIT is given, purchase of intermediate goods is given, change in stock is given, again purchase is given. This purchase, this purchase. Remember double counting. Now what we have to do here, two purchases given. One is purchase of machinery. Okay, another one is purchase of intermediate products. Now this one, purchase, will be included in this one. Is that clear? Okay, this purchase of machinery will come under purchase of intermediate goods. It will be taken as an intermediate products which are used in the process of production. So we don't need to take up this one. If we are adding this one, then again what will happen? It will lead to double counting. Is that clear? Okay. Now, very simple. So, we will go, sales is given how much? 300 plus change in stock is given, which is given minus 10. Minus intermediate consumption is given, purchase of intermediate products is 150. Is that clear? Okay. Okay. Now 300 minus 10 minus 150. Okay, so we will be getting 300 minus 160. How much? 0, 10, 6, 4, 240. Is it? Is it 240 here? Right. So 0, 0, 6, 1, 6 and 4. Then here 2, 1. Okay, so this will be 140. Right. Okay. Now if we are getting 140 here, this one is 1, GVA at market price. Now in question it is given NVA, net value added at market price is given. Now what we have to do? Convert it. We have G V A at market price. Now gross net. So gross net, what we have to do here? Up minus CFC. CFC. Then we have what else? Remaining is the same. Net value added at market price, gross value added at market price is the same. So 140 minus CFC is depreciation. Is it given? Yes, which is given 20 here. So how much it is? 0, 2, 1. 120. Net value added at market price is 120. Last problem in this. We have to calculate the value of output. Items are given here. Okay, look into it and then go for the calculation. So again, what is given here? Net value added at factor cost. So we go for gross value added at market price is equal to value of output minus intermediate consumption. Okay. Now, gross value added at market price we have to find out here is equal to value of output. Also we have to find out minus intermediate consumption. Intermediate consumption is given, which is 150. Okay, so first we will go into this one. GVA at MP. Now this, I'll write it down so that I can use this space. GVA at MP. For this, what is given here? Net value added at factor cost. Net value added at factor cost. Convert. Now we have to go for conversion. Net into gross plus CFC. Okay. Then market price and factor cost. Factor cost into market price. Right. So what we have to do? Plus NIT. So here NVA at factor cost is 250 plus CFC is given how much here, which is depreciation, is given 30 here, plus IT. IT, now see here, IT example is given, excise duty. In economics, duty is a tax. So what is this excise duty? A tax which is levied on, which is imposed on manufactured goods. Okay. Production tax, we can say. It is not a sales tax. Okay. So excise duty. Excise duty is an example of indirect tax. So here it is given 20 and then minus subsidy. Is it given here? Yes, subsidy is given 10. So it's very easy to compute this one. We will be getting how much? 290. So put up the value here, 290. Right. Clear? Okay. Then 290 plus 150 value of output. So 9, 14, 1, 2, 3, 4. That is 440. So value of output is 440 here. So like this, now we are done with this method. So a brief recapitulation on it. First one, we have studied about the theoretical information on value added method, followed by the examples. Okay, and then we have seen the formulas for value added method, and then precautions we have seen, and finally the application level of this value added method.